Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Pennies add up. And y'all probably like, what was that? Shoot, that was my coin jar right there. And when I say pennies, I mean more than just pennies, but just coins in general. Now, people, I'm going to tell you what. My coin jar got a lot of money. And every now and then, when it fills up, I got to take it to one of those coin machines somewhere, and I'll be getting some money from it. I'll be getting some money. Now, sometimes too, I might just put it in the bank. I get some penny wrappers, some dime, nickel, quarter wrappers, and wrap it up. It depends on what I need right then. Lately, it hasn't filled up lately because I still use my card a lot of times anyway, but you still keep cash up here, right? But the reality is there's still plenty of stuff that cash is going for. Now, I know you got, people saying, oh, they try and go to a cashless society. They've been saying that they've been saying that since the 90s. Seriously, they've been saying that since the 90s. And yeah, it's very cashless, but they ain't gonna force anything. And I'm gonna tell you why. Let me go off on a tangent a bit. Remember, there was check my archives. In fact, I'll put a link in the description box about this thing called System D, and that's like the informal economy. And I ain't gonna get into it here, but basically that's off the books, like anything off the books, and that's a cash thing. Like I remember there was a young girl, last summer who had lemonade stands all over the neighborhood. Like literally, she had a lemonade stand in the parking lot of a major shopping center, and she was making money, cash. So the thing is, and when you spend cash and you get change, you get quarter, anything from a penny to a quarter. Very rare occasion, maybe even $50. That adds up. Now remember, savings are important. And if you think about it, you actually get more money from the coins just adding them up than you do from even a savings account, because it take a lot to really make money when you put your money in the savings. You might get a few dollars at best, and you got to have like so much for it. But think about it. Every single time you spend cash, you get that change. Just put it in that jar. Put it in that jar. Put it in that jar. And, it might take a while, but that thing adds up. That thing adds up. And, like, if you need money, like something, you hit one of those coin machines now, you get some money taken out. But, you get that money right away. I remember when years ago, it was a bit tougher for me. Bit tougher. Wasn't doing well like I'm doing, as well as I was doing now. And, you needed that extra money for something. So it's like you go there, boom, Because I remember a point, just to get some good food or something, I had to hit it. But then I had got about $80. That's through a coin machine, which meant I had a lot more. And then, if you don't need that money right away, get some penny wrappers, some coin wrappers, and they still sell them. Shoot, you can go to a dollar store and get them. Put that stuff in, take it to a bank. Take it to a bank. Now, I know you can't really go inside of a bank now. A lot of banks, they make you go through drive-thrus, but, this virus will be over at some point. Go to a bank, put that into your savings, and then start it again. And it's like the perfect in-home savings account. It's the perfect in-home savings account. It can add up. I mean, you've got stories of people who've saved pennies for years, and they end up having a lot of money. They end up having a lot of money because it's still a medium of exchange. Yeah, it's hard to carry them around and everything. You don't need to. You don't need to. Well, maybe in your car, because I carry quarters in my car. And that's like sometimes when I go into the city, they still have parking spaces and stuff that can take a quarter. So it's like, yeah, you still keep it for that. But it's still something. And it's actually reliable because think about it. Since most people don't use the coins to spend, you're less likely to dip into it. You're less likely because one thing when you had a savings account and you didn't happen to pay attention to Rom's podcast about having a written budget, you probably dipping into it, but you're not as quick to dip into that coin jar. You're not as quick. Usually, even when you're taking it to a store or, put it in one of those coin machines, you usually, that's usually when it's some serious thing. Like you seriously need that money because, if you're just putting a little bit in to get $3 or something, that don't make sense. So you usually build it up. And that's the beauty of it. Right? And also, too, I'm going to tell you on a practical thing, because most savings accounts, banks they'll charge you for them. They'll charge you for them until you get a certain amount in there. They'll charge you for it. So it's hard to actually build it. It can be hard unless you start out with, unless you got something where you have money consistently deposited in it, or you start out with a certain amount of money, they'll hit you up. You go beyond a certain point, they'll hit you up. And it depends. And that's one thing, too, as an aside. When you go to get money, put money in a savings account, look at the bank and what they do, what they require, and everything. So, because I remember there was a while, years ago, when it was tight, and I couldn't even have a savings account because they'd be taking out money. I was like, how's this working? But when with the penny jar and the pennies adding up and everything, you not dipped. You not dipped at all. You see what you got, that money stays. That money stays, and you can just build it up nice and slow, nice and easy. Probably even better than you can do the cash thing, because even though I've always recommend having a savings account, it can be tough. Because let's be real, and part of the reason I call this Money Matters, everybody ain't like a well-paid business person, and let's be real, a lot of people have it tight, and especially gonna have it tight now. All right, but you can always build up those pennies, always, because as long as you spending something with cash, and like I say, a lot of stuff still is taking cash. Some people even tell you, even like me going to my cleaners, they take cards, but then they'll say you can get a discount if you pay for it early. Boom, you gotta give them cash. And then they say, then you got some places, depending on the credit system they have, that you can't use your card under a certain amount. Like my comic book store, yeah, I still read comics. I can't use my card under $8 because they get charged for it. So cash is still gonna be used out here. It ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere, especially with System D. Check out the link to System D that I gave you. It ain't going anywhere. System D is like a powerful economy. But it ain't going anywhere. But those pennies add up. Those pennies add up. And don't be ashamed. Hey, look, get they even have like some jars, because like the thing I was shaking is like one of those things that has a slot in there, and if I bothered to put a battery in it, it would tell me exactly how much money I have in there. In fact, I might even do that. Let me look at this thing. Yeah, I should put a battery in here. See what it is, because it'll count what's in there. But it's not worth all that. Just generally the way to track it is just to fill it up. Fill it up. Get you those penny wrappers, dime wrappers, nickel, quarter wrappers. If you get a $50, which is rare, you don't need to put it in there. I don't even know if they got $50 wrappers. They hard to find anyway. But just do that. Just do that. In fact, that's one thing sometimes I'll do with even my jar. I'll put wrappers in there, and I'll put them in there in such a way. And like the last time they was filled up enough, I put the wrappers, I had the wrappers. I took it to a bank and put it in my savings. But it's the easiest, the simplest thing. It's also something that you can train your children in. Like it's funny. Like my oldest son, he don't really deal with coins if he don't have to, right? He'll give them to his little brother. His little brother got a piggy bank that he carries with him. He got a piggy bank, and that dude don't play with the money. So anyway, though, remember though, seriously, just on a basic level, pennies add up, and you never know what they can get you. So y'all know what to do. Check out System D, the System D link, and let's go make that money.